While this man, who has the highest interception rate in the NFC, may have trouble completing passes against this group, which just happens to be the second toughest pass defender in the NFL. This man may make it as a wild card entry, while this man appears to have no wild chance. Although, confused? Don't be. As these and other questions will be answered when you watch today's NFC contest between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants.
The NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to see and test drive the all-new LTD and Mustang. Norelco rotary razors for a close shave with no nicks, no cuts, no gotcha. And by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less.
Good afternoon from Giant Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. A beautiful November day as the Giants and the Eagles are ready for their first meeting of this season. Hello, everyone. I'm Don Crickey with Sonny Jurgensen. Winning football games now is much a matter of who's healthy as talent and preparation. The Eagles might be a contender now, Sonny. Do you think they're that good?
They are that good when you consider, Don, who they've beaten. New England, Miami, Washington. They've beaten some good football teams. They think they're good. They think they have a realistic chance of getting to the playoffs.
But both these teams, as is just about every team in the NFL right now, have injured players. Kreftley, the outstanding tight end of the Eagles, is out. And he's really the guy that makes their offensive line go.
That's true. They missed him. Osborne got in and had to play against the Cardinals, dropped a couple of passes that hurt him. They're going to miss Kreftley today. They will have Wilbert Montgomery returning, though. That's a plus for them.
And the Giants might have to change pitchers. Their starting quarterback, Joe Pizarczyk, Jersey Joe, is troubled with the flu. And we might see some of Randy Dean, the young man out of Northwestern who's had very limited playing time. But he's about the only guy that's really ready to go for them.
They think they've been talking about giving this young man some playing time. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing him play. They say he's an excellent athlete, can throw the ball well. He might be the best of all of them.
All right, here's our officiating crew for today's game. The referee is Cal Lepore. As the Giants have won the toss, they'll be receiving to start the game. And there is Nick Mickemeyer with the ball teed up and ready to hit it for the Eagles. While back deep for the Giants, Doug Coder is back at the goal line. And back there with him is Bobby Hammond to the right, 33 and 44. The kick heads downfield. This is Hammond 2 yards deep in the end zone. He's to the 10. The Eagles, with good special teams pursuit, cut him down at the 17-yard line and come close to getting a flag. Eagles are hitters, an aggressive, enthusiastic team. Offensively, the Giants break down as follows. Pizarczyk will start at quarterback with Hammond and Zanka, his running backs. The pass catchers, Johnny Perkins, Jimmy Robinson, and Gary Shirk starts at tight end today. There's the interior line, a change at right tackle. Benson is in, as two previous right tackles have gone down with injuries. Mikalajic, who had a big year. And then Gordon King is out this game, the #1 draft choice after injuring an ankle against Washington. First and 10 Giants, 17-yard line, opening play from scrimmage. In the flat, they go to Perkins, and the Eagles run it down. Here's a penalty marker, Sonny.
Oh, an excellent play by Ray Phillips, subbing for Drew Mahalik, coming in early, made a good play, then reading that screen and hustling over there. You see the Eagle defensive line, Manny Sistrunk. I think Dennis Harrison is starting in his place, along with Charlie Johnson and Carl Harrison. Their linebackers, Wilkes, Berge, LeMaster, not Mahalik, but it's going to be Ray Phillips. Howard, Herman Edwards, Randy Logan, and Johnny Sanders in the secondary. Good defensive football team.
Well, they've intercepted 19 passes, 10 different interceptors so far in the Eagle defense. Both the teams need to score more points. The Eagles have scored over 17 only once all season. That was in a losing effort at Washington in the second game. And the Giants in the last 6 weeks haven't gone above 17. They had some big offensive days early in the season. In fact, in the first 5 games, they scored twice as many points as they have in the subsequent 6 games. So they've got to get points, and the Eagles have been winning with defense.
Both teams have been with good defense. The front 7 of the Giants and also that entire defensive team of the Philadelphia Eagles.
First down.
Well, right away, the Giants make a mistake, and they're going to start out in the hole. They're inside of their own 10-yard line. First down and 20 yards to go.
That hurts. The ball at the 9-yard line. High set in the backfield. Pizarczyk has not thrown well, particularly in recent weeks, and they go to the run, and Bob Hammond gets a whole load of Hairston. Kyle Hairston has been the best defensive lineman on the Eagles, and his coach Marion Campbell, your former teammate, Tony, says he plays the run as good as anybody in the league.
He does. He feels that he's playing it as well as anybody. You see this from behind the quarterback. Hammond, no place to go. Harrison playing off the block of Gravel, or Doug Van Horn then, I think, and makes the play.
The Eagles have beaten the Giants the last 5 times they've played, and 8 of the last 9 times. So the Giants have had a continuing problem with Philadelphia in the recent seasons as Pizarchik's numbers are up, and he has a long count to go. 2 second down and 20. Gonna run it again. And again, the Eagles shut it right down as there's no cracks in that defensive front of Philadelphia.
How he avoided making contact then, I don't know. If there's any contact made by the defensive player, it would be a penalty on them, but he got back and held his ground. No penalty.
The Eagles have won 5 of their last 8 games with a defense that's allowed under 12 points a game to the opposition. They've been real tough to score on. Now the Giants break the huddle. They have speed at either flank. Emery Moorhead is wide to the right, second year from Colorado. At the top of your screen up to the right is Johnny Perkins, flyer out of Abilene. Pizarchik with his first throw. It's a home run shot. Here's Perkins going for the ball, and the Eagles break it up. Doubled up on the outside receivers, and Herman Edwards, 46, came over, had a play on the football, could not intercept. And so now the Giants will have to punt the ball, and Sonny, the Eagles can come out of this with good field position.
Good field position, because at that end of the field, Jennings will have to kick out of the end zone. There's a lot of swirling wind down there. Being down on the field, they say that is the worst spot of the field.
Jennings is a 44-yard per try punter. One of the very best, and back is John Shira, former quarterback at UCLA under Eagles coach Dick Vermeil. He's the deep safety to return the punt. He's standing inside the 50-yard line. Ball is hit well. Shira takes it back at his 46-yard line. Across the 50. And Shira takes it down to the Giant 42-yard line. A punt of 44 yards from Jennings. A return of about 10 yards by Shira. John Scorpion comes down to make the play on special teams. So the football for the first time in the game, they have good field position. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the Giant 42 with nothing up on the board yet.
These are 2 of today's newest razors. The one on the right is the new Norelco rechargeable rotary razor. This one has 2 blades and pivots up and down. The new Norelco, 36 blades in 3 adjustable floating heads and a new shaving angle. Both give you a close shave, but the new Norelco rechargeable lets you walk away from soap and water. Of course, they do give you one thing Norelco doesn't. Gotcha! The new Norelco rechargeable rotary razor. Still no gotcha. Phantom of the night. Elegant. Elusive. Introducing the Phantom Cat. A bold, distinctive Mercury Cougar XR7 in midnight blue and chamois, with a hauntingly beautiful new face, elegantly styled, deeply cushioned. A luxurious Mercury Cougar XR7 called the Phantom Cat.
Isn't this your year to join the cat set?
The Eagles have the ball. 1st and 10 at the Giant 42-yard line. First possession for the Eagles in this game. Jaworski, the quarterback. Wilbert Montgomery is in as the deep back in the eye set. Has missed the last 2 games. He was the NFC's leading rusher until he went down with an ankle injury. They go to the up back, the fullback Hogan, and he blasts inside the 40, hits down to the 38-yard line. Kelly and Carson knocked him down for the Giants, but there was a pickup on the play of almost 4.
First time they've had these 2 backs. Watch Harry Carson. One of the best ones. Coming in, Lucan's coming over trying to hit him, and you see him playing off the block, making the play. Tom Lucan in on the block there.
Wilbert Montgomery has over 750 yards rushing, even though he's only played 9 games. Jaworski hands up, and there's Montgomery, and there's that speed. It's a first down Eagles. He's down to the 31-yard line. Ernie Jones, a safety, knocked him down. And here's how the Eagles break down with Jaworski at quarterback, Montgomery and Hogan the setbacks. Harold Carmichael, he's the guy to watch. The big 6'8" wide receiver. Ken Payne is the other. Osborne, a backup, starts at tight end with Prefley out. Walter, the best offensive lineman. Harvey Martin of Dallas says he's the best in the league at left tackle. As the Eagles now set it up 1st and 10 at the Giant 31. Jaworski with a deep drop. He's got a man open over the middle, and the ball caroms in the air off the hands of his tight end, Osborne, and it was a free football for the Giants. It went 15 yards downfield, skipped right off Osborne's hands.
Where did he drill him, too? Osborne's hurt. He hurt his hands, and he's coming off the field. He may have hurt his wrist that time. This will force the Eagles, what we were talking about, it might force them to go in to a 3-wide receiver offense. This really becomes a problem for them now because their only other backup tight end is Bill Larson. They just signed.
Bill Larson, a free agent out of Minnesota. The Eagles now have it second down and 10 at the Giants 31. Hogan runs with the ball and gets it up the gut down to the 28-yard line. Pick up a 3. Carson, the middle linebacker, again on the stop for the Giants.
Not only losing Osborne hurt him pass-wise, but what it really does, it affects their running game so because you lose that extra blocker, that tight end blocking in there.
Here's the Giant defensive breakdown. Martin, Mendenhall, Archer, and Gregory across the front 4. Van Pelt, Carson, and Kelly, the linebackers. Kerry Jackson, a rookie, and Ray Rhodes are at the corners with Mallory and Jones, the safeties. 3rd down and 7, Philadelphia. No score first quarter. Jaworski sets up a big rush against him. He gets the ball away. It comes in on the 1 hop. He's going to Carmichael, kept it down low. Jones was covering. A big rush was coming from George Martin, the left end. And so now the Eagles are faced with a 4th down.
They also came with a blitz, and Carson came. The linebackers came on him. I'm sure they'd like to put a lot of pressure on Jaworski coming in this game with a back injury. Here's Carmichael. Take a look at him. He's just a little center pattern cutting across. He's open momentarily, but the ball's thrown low and behind him because of the rush.
Carmichael's caught 35, and of course he's caught passes in 91 consecutive games. The all-time record is Abramowitz with 108. Mickemeyer going to try a long field goal. It's going to have enough distance, but he's wide to the left. And so a 45-yard attempt by Mickemeyer goes wide. And the Giants will take over at the previous line of scrimmage, which was their 28-yard line. So with no score up, when we come back, the Giants have the ball back.
Welcome, everybody, to the light beer battle of the big guys. And there they are, 2 teams locked in mortal combat to decide the eternal argument over light beer from Miller. On one side, the big guys who think the best thing about light is it tastes great. Yeah, it tastes great. On the other side, the big guys who think the best thing about light is it has a third less calories than their regular beer. It's less filling.
I feel strongly both ways.
I tell you, this is really no respect. Blue is the violet and red is the rose. You don't pull them or break your nose.
The tension here is almost unbearable.
Oh, yeah.
They can't go on much longer. Something big has got to happen soon. Holy cow, look at that.
Hi, Mickey.
Hi, dolls.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
I still don't know why they asked me to do this commercial.
Harold Robbins' bestseller, The Pirate, becomes a powerful television event. Starting Tuesday on CBS, Harold Robbins' The Pirate.
Sonny, your old club has an early problem.
Yes, they do. The Cardinals are back, won 3 straight. They lead 7-0 in the first quarter. Willard Harrell returned a punt, 70 yards.
Here at Giant Stadium, we have no score. The Giants with their second possession here in the first quarter at their 28-yard line after a missed 45-yard field goal by Mickemeyer of the Eagles. As Archick throws, and Perkins catches the ball for a first down. He's out to the Giant 45. He caught it on Herman Edwards.
Boy, excellent timing on this throw by Joe. Little waggle action going away from the back. He sets and throws the ball before the move is ever made. Good catch in there. Johnny Perkins.
Now Doug Coder comes into the Giant offensive backfield. The Jets have jumped out in front of New England 7-0 on a Kevin Long run in the first quarter. So Pizarczyk drills Johnny Perkins. The Giants have their biggest gainer and first and 10 at their 45. Pitch back. Here comes Hammond. Coder blocks well, and Hammond turns the corner. But Good lateral pursuit by the Eagles. There's Hairston, who we've heard so much about, playing the run and knocked him down for a short gain.
And he came from the other side to do it. He made an excellent play coming all the way across. Looked like Hammond was going to break out of that and make a big run out of it. Good lateral pursuit.
So now we have 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Giants. Ball's at their 46-yard line. They go to a big back, Willie Spencer. They might hold him to pass block for Pizarczyk. Coder's a good pass catcher. He's the other setback. Now they send Spencer in motion. A pitch back, and Spencer leads the blocking. Coder runs, gets out of bounds at about midfield. Berge knocked him out of bounds. Tampa Bay has moved in front of Buffalo 7-0 in the first quarter.
12-yard run by Ricky Bell.
Coder's got a good yardage per carry average, 4.8. Ricky Bell putting those first points up for Tampa Bay as they lead the Bills. Now Spencer goes out and Hammond goes back in. Coder averaging 4.8 yards a carry. Hammond is the Giants' leading rusher with just under 500 yards through the first 11 games. Pizarczyk hitting only 45% of his throws, and the percentage has been way down in recent weeks. 3rd and 6. Gets away from the rush. He's going to get a first down. Pizarczyk gets the ball inside the 45-yard line of Philadelphia, and the Giants have a first down on a scramble by Pizarczyk.
Well, just because of his strength and size, does he escape this rush? Trying to find someone to throw to, but you see right there, Harrison hits his shoulder pad, and just because of the size of him, he breaks it, makes a good run for the first down. The reason we saw Willie Spencer in there, I think, Tom, is because Billy Taylor has sprained an ankle, and his return today is doubtful.
So the Giants start to move the football now, and Dick Vermeer wants a clarification of the rules here.
I don't want them. I want one off or all off. Take them off. Leave me off. Leave me off. Off. Until you get the other. Until I get that one fixed. Put the dead one on. When that comes on, then we'll get them all on.
But telephones aren't working.
There's some complaint about the headsets not working for the coaches on the sideline. They were making one guy take it off, and some kind of problem. You know, a lot of times this happens, Don. This is the truth. Now, you can go into certain stadiums, like in Cleveland times. You go in, the game will start, and everything's fine on the sidelines because the coaches have the contact with the box upstairs and so forth. They'll disconnect them. The home team will disconnect them, and then our coaches are standing on the sidelines without communications to the box upstairs. It's unfair, but it's happened before, believe me.
I've often wondered who's listening in when you're giving your plays down there.
Well,
It's not too
I'll
tough
tell you
to
what,
tap that, is it?
you know, you see how many mistakes are made. It's difficult enough to try to explain it when you're looking somebody in the face talking with them. For somebody to interpret it over the speakers would be more difficult, believe me.
Something is wrong. We're not sure what, but we're going to play football now as the ball is down inside the 45-yard line. And there it will be 1st and 10 for the Giants. James Thompson goes wide left as a receiver, and Robinson is wide to the right. John McVay alternating his running backs. He has 2 smaller backs in now, and Hammond and Coder. Pizarczyk drills in the flat, and Jimmy Robinson catches the ball at the 34-yard line, very close to a first down.
Very close to first down, and excellent coverage here by Bobby Howard coming up. Again, the play action, the fake to Cotto, little roll to the right, and boy, does he drill this ball. He may be a little under the weather. I've never seen him throw better.
Yeah, you can't really handicap the guy, can you? The guy's supposed to come in here with flu and a bad leg and helmet on backwards. He goes out and has his best day.
Except forgetting about how sick you are, and you go out and you just try to overcome that, and you play well.
So with no score on the board, the Giants starting to mount a challenge now on their second possession. As you see, the Eagles with a dominance over the Giants over the last 2.5 seasons. The Eagles come into the game with a record of 6-5. The Giants come in with a record of 5-6. Going to be second and really less than a yard for the Giants. The ball inside the Eagle 35-yard line. Lining up over the nose of the center is Big 265 pounds. He's going to try to stack it up. They get a little wedge open in the Eagle defensive front, and the Giants take it through for the first down to the 32-yard line. Dennis Harrison, a 6'8", 275-pound rookie out of Vanderbilt. What's that they said about
moving
him?
the ball around real well as far as picking their spots, what they're doing. Good play calling right here because they've thrown it out on both sides. They run a little sweep. They go up the middle. They're mixing their play calling up real well right now.
Harrison came into the pro camp. One scout rated him, said he played like Tarzan, looked like Tarzan, played like James, so he got drafted a little low. Zarczyk throws, open his Hammond. An old adage about taking what they give you here, Sonny, and the Giants are doing that.
Yes, he is. Early in the season, I thought a lot of their plays, action passes, were for long passes. And we can see right here, they've been shorter pass patterns. They're throwing the ball quickly on time, and they're having some success with it.
The ball is now down to the 25-yard line. It's going to be second down and about 3 for the Giants. Again, they send Thompson and Robinson out to either side. Doug Coder looking to turn the corner, looks for that opening and then accelerates upfield inside the 20-yard line. They'll spot him down at the 20. The Giants have another first down.
Well, you got to give some credit to that offensive line. A good job of blocking here. Nothing fancy, a sweep. Gravel making a good block. Slowed up Harrison long enough so he could get outside. Herman Edwards making the tackle there, but enough for the first down. That drive's still alive there on the 19-yard line.
This rivalry goes back a lot of years. This is the 88th meeting between the Giants and the Eagles.
I think I lost 40 of those against the Giants.
There's Zarczyk looking into the end zone. He's got a man. Hammond, touchdown Giants. Well, that's a well-executed play. Wide receivers cleared it out, and Hammond snuck in there, and Zarczyk put it right between his threes.
Well, it was a well-conceived play because Hammond goes out again, the play action. The thing that made it the great pattern that Bobby Hammond ran here, goes outside and got into that seam inside the safety and the cornerback. You see it from ground level here. He went outside. He looked like he was going to run a sideline pattern and cut back in the seam, got behind Ray Phillips.
Now Danilo, as we go back to live action, drills the extra point up and good, and so with 7:25 left to play in the first quarter here at Giant Stadium, the Giants drive down the field 72 yards in 9 plays and connect on the scoring throw. Zarczyk to Hammond. They lead the game 7-0.
You know me? Of course you do. I am money. Your money. You work for me. So hard. What's so funny? You should have me working for you.
An idea tough with money. Put it to work with a personalized financial plan. We've done it for 80 years for business and for people just like you. IDS. We help people manage money. Leonardo da Vinci for Spidell watches.
They call me the greatest inventor ever, next to Tom Edison. But even I never dreamed of this beautiful Spidell chronograph. It gives me the time and date, but also 4 stopwatch functions. Great gift, Mona. Very inventive. Say, you have no digital too.
Edison gave it to me.
Spidell's beautiful new digitals. Very inventive gifts.
The Giants have just driven 72 yards, put the first points up on a Zarczyk to Hammond throw, and now they're ready to kick it off. Here's Danilo hitting the football. Campfield, a rookie out of Kansas State, is back. He's a good one. Gimona takes the ball, though, moving up in front of him on a short kickoff, and Louis Gimona comes across the 30 and gets it out to the 37 or 8-yard line. Gimona, former New York Jet, picked up as a free agent, knocked down by Frank Marion, 28-yard return. Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 Central and Pacific, it's the CBS Sports Spectacular. Highlights of the Los Angeles Times 578 NASCAR champion Cale Yarborough attempting to win stock car racing's final event of the year and World's Strongest Men competition. This week, the competitors try to crank a 100-pound weight plus 10 pounds of equipment 10 feet off the ground as quickly as possible.
A wrist roll.
A wrist roll.
Ah, you got strong wrists.
Like that.
Gee whiz. A wrist roll.
And a play fake. Swings it out, and his tight end catches the ball, Osborne, for very little gain. Got it across the 40, picked up about 3. Van Pelt was...
Because of the rush of Mendenhall and George Martin, and kept him from finding Harold Carmichael on a crossing pattern here by Jaworski. He had Carmichael crossing right at the bottom of your screen, just went out of frame, and they had him open, but the rush kept him from going to Osborne.
Jaworski is a hard throw. We saw that well illustrated earlier when he went 15 or 20 yards further downfield and almost was intercepted. You got to take something off him on those little out patterns.
I think they let up.
Here's a handoff, Montgomery. Boy, he sees that little opening, and he gets into it. Wilbert Montgomery, a 5-yarder carry rusher, gets the ball out to the 45-yard line of Philadelphia, pick up of 3. Carson and Archer were...
Minnesota has taken a 7-0 lead over San Diego on a 10-yard pass from Fran Tarkington to Ricky Jones.
A lot of times teams from California tend to fumble, don't they, in Minneapolis in November and December?
Are you kidding? That snow, they had to remove the snow. They don't even like to go out on the field up there.
Carmichael is out wide to the left now. They have 3 wide receivers in the game, the Eagle. Jaworski, here comes Carson on a blitz. The throw is intercepted by Van Pelt. Brad Van Pelt takes it back inside the Eagle 40-yard line and down to the 38. And so the Giants all-pro outside linebacker Van Pelt picks up Jaworski, and the Giants have back the ball.
He made it perfect. You see the delayed biff. Carson, Mendenhall throwing his man. Good rush. Van Pelt played it perfectly. You see the position he has on Montgomery, picks it off. Big break for the New York Giants. Bad decision to throw the ball by Ron Jaworski. Montgomery was covered all the way.
That's the kind you wish you could call back. I wouldn't.
You can't get it back. If you had a string, you'd pull that one back.
Jaworski's here. Giants, with a lot of diversity, did something different on just about every play in that first drive that got the touchdown. Pizarczyk throws. He's got a man open. Johnny Perkins is chopped at the... And he gained 18 yards in a first down as Pizarczyk was falling down when he released the ball.
Joe Pizarczyk. You don't think strength counts playing quarterback. Again, the fake, trying to get one. Frank Marion draped around him as he goes down, throwing the ball. And look, right on target. What a throw.
Back at the ball when he saw Pizarczyk was in trouble. And the Giants get a big gainer, so they have it first and 10 at the 20-yard line of Philadelphia. Giants... Second back throw is Hammond. He's to the 17-yard line. Here's a marker. What do we have here?
Let's see. They're going to have some kind of either face mask or holding. One or the other. Yep. We're going to get a holding call.
So that'll set the Giants back 10 yards. Pizarczyk in the game, thrown the ball 6 times, completed 5 for 70 yards in the touchdown.
And the big scramble for the first down, too, that really helped them. Got him out of a jam on a situation.
Holding 56. Offense, first down.
Before, Don, he'd try not to embarrass my number.
Hey, he looks like a tight end. 6'4", 20 pounds. Joe Pizarczyk. First and 20 now for the Giants at the 30-yard. Pizarczyk stands in. He's got a guy so open in the end zone, he might drop it. He holds on. Boy, there was a blown coverage there. Perkins was so alone, there wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him.
And Pizarczyk is down. He's down on the field. He took a hit after the play. See if we can see it right here. Boy, does he do a good job just waiting for Perkins to clear. Right there, you're down, but look how open Perkins is. Nobody around him.
Eagles secondary is completely perplexed. There was nobody near him. Earlier we saw Perkins run that route. They doubled up on him, and Hammond came underneath, caught the ball for a touchdown. This time they stayed with Hammond apparently, and Perkins was all alone, and Jersey Joe's going to walk it off.
You need a hammer to take him down.
How do you feel when you go down? You never see the guy catches it. Must be a good feeling to look up and see 13 up.
Well, you can tell according to where you're playing. If the crowd, well, your man caught it. If it's If it goes the other way, you know it's been intercepted.
Hold, and Danilo with the extra point for a second time. And so the Giants take command of the game early. 5:31 left to play in the first quarter here at Giant Stadium. And Jersey Joe Pizarczyk, despite the flu, has thrown for 2 touchdowns. It's 14-0.
Our little cats from Lincoln Mercury are tough on competition. Starting with October 6th production, our Bobcat wagons have more standard equipment than last year. And Bobcat's sticker price, as shown, is $41.42. Yet comparably equipped, it's $161 less than a 78. Right on, Bobcat. Zephyr wagon, comparably equipped, is priced over $500 less than Toyota Corona wagon and rated 23 cubic feet roomier. That's great, Zephyr. You'll find big values at the sign of the little cat.
Take any razor available in America. Any razor. Now there's an electric shaver that will shave as close or your money back. The Remington XLR. Remington can guarantee Remington has this remarkable 3-part system. The first head shaves close, the second closer. The unique intercept cutter is designed to shave long. The Remington XLR. It shaves as close as a blade or your money back.
Next Saturday, see highlights of the LA Times 500, plus the world's strongest men competition. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Giants are getting it done early here. 2 touchdowns up in the first quarter. Now our kickoff, it's a little error. It's going to be picked up. 18-yard line by Giamona. He wants to play, doesn't he? And little Louis Giamona is hammered at the 27-yard line. Philadelphia gets it a second time. We've seen 2 touchdown throws now, Sonny, from Pizarczyk first to Hammond, then to Perkins, where the receivers were wide open. What happened?
I think especially on the second one, Don, they made a mistake in the coverage because when they came off the field, the Eagles secondary, that's ranked second in the league, I think, got together and they were conferring about what had taken place. Somebody obviously made a mistake, blew the call.
So it's a 14-0 game, and Giants coming in as a slight underdog in this game. Gary Jeter in the defensive line left early, but we'll see if he was run offside by Philadelphia. Looks like he might have been. The Eagles are falling.
San Diego has tied it up against Minnesota. It's now 7-7. Still in the first quarter. It's a 2-yard run by Ed Bauer. And listen to this. The St. Louis Cardinals will go up 14-0 now over the Washington Redskins. Hart to Dave Steve.
Hart has really been throwing well since he came back. The Eagle coaches were saying against them, he just couldn't do a thing with him.
They had to go into Washington very late.
False start. Moving before the snap. 76 offense. First down.
Oh, the right tackle, Jerry Sizemore, for illegal motion. He was the last #1 draft choice for the Eagles heavy. Jaworski hands off. Here's Hogan running ahead. Archer hits him, and Carson also got him. So there was very little gain on the play. After the 5-yard penalty, they get back about 3. It'll be 3rd and 12. The Philadelphia Eagles disclosed today that the owner and president of the team, Leonard Toews, underwent successful open-heart surgery last Tuesday at the Texas Heart Institute in Houston, Texas. The operation to replace an aortic valve was performed by Dr. Denton Cooley, and he's doing very well. Dr. Salvatore Carfagno of Norristown, Pennsylvania, traveled to Houston with Leonard Toews, and he's doing very well. We're happy to report. Handoff goes to Hogan. Lots of Giants. Jack Gregory makes the hit along with Brian Kelly, an outside linebacker.
The old Statue of Liberty play. Giants not fooled by any means by it. Kelly stayed at home. Gregory makes a good play. Nobody to block for Tom Luking. He's coming around. He wanted to peel back on Gregory, but Kelly beat him there. Tough running against this New York Giant front seven.
Yeah, they play the run real well. Allowed just over 4 yards per carry to the rush. Jaworski with a deep drop. He's got to take that. The rush is on. Here is a throw to Carmichael. So it's 92 straight games. And more importantly for the Eagles, it's a first down. A pickup of about 20 yards on the play.
Same pattern that was thrown behind him a little earlier from the... Boy, he really gets a late start off the ball, doesn't he? Ernie Jones taking his one shot. A little deep to be taking that one bump, too, after the 5-yard zone. A little chuck that he tried to hit him with then. But he came around, same type of pattern, a little center pattern. Good throw by Ron.
Boy, you see Carmichael down the field running patterns. You wonder how anybody can stay with him. 6'8", and his arms have got to be like a guy 6'10". Hand off to Montgomery. Giants coming up and hitting hard. Mallory was on the play. The advances out to the 43-yard line. Ernie Jones also on the play. Wilbert Montgomery. He was drafted in the 6th round in 1977. Giants remember him last year. He ran back a kickoff 99 yards for a touchdown that ultimately decided the game.
He had something like 754 yards going into this game and has missed some, too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had that ankle problem. Held out the last 2 weeks. Part of another game. It's second down now, and long for the Eagles, second and about 8. Jaworski to Montgomery, trying to slip up the middle against the Giant defense, advances across the 46 out to the 47-yard line. Mendenhall, 64, was on the bottom. There is Ron Jaworski, drafted in the 2nd round by the Los Angeles Rams back in 1973 out of Youngstown State in Ohio. He had a great performance in the Senior Bowl. Pro scouts took to him there. Came to the Eagles in a trade where the Rams got rights to sign tight end Charles Young. Been a good trade for Philadelphia.
Yes, it was.
Third down and about 3. Jaworski gives off Montgomery, gets the first down and some more. Down to the 46-yard line of the Giants where Jack Gregory knocked him down.
Doing a good job now. The fact that they've fallen, they made a couple of mistakes in the secondary. Looked good movement up front that time. And Montgomery picks up the first down. Real smart of the Philadelphia Eagles now to come back, stay with their game plan. Do not panic, even though you're trailing 14-0 in the first quarter on mistakes.
Right now, they're winning at the line of scrimmage on these running plays. They weren't earlier. But the Giants have command of the game, 14-0 with 1 minute and 15 seconds to play in the first quarter. Jaworski has to hurry. He's got time. Home run ball. There's Carmichael. Carmichael loses the ball, stripped of it by 22 Ray Rhodes. Very nearly a 6-pointer for the Philadelphia Eagles.
What a great play by Ray Rhodes in staying with Carmichael. Good throw by Ron Jaworski. You see right here going back. He gets a little early rush by Mendenhall. Oh, Woody Peoples did a job on him. And then he makes a good throw, but watch this. Almost intercepted, almost a touchdown. That's how close it was. Both men fighting for the ball. Ooh. Well, what a catch that would have been.
There's Carmichael, 6'8", and he wears high-heeled shoes in civilian dress and Superfly hats. Very big in Philadelphia. Very one of the most popular Eagles down there.
Hey, he's big. He wants to wear high-heeled shoes, he can.
Yeah. Wear those big hats, too. Think you can see him coming in high-heeled shoes and a Superfly hat? Here comes Montgomery, and he is inside the 45-yard line, comes to an abrupt halt as he is shocked again by the middle linebacker, Harry Carson, who will bring a running play to an abrupt stop.
Carson, again, just all over the football field. Watch him, plays it. He takes a little hesitation step, plays off the block, right in on the play. And besides that, he's mean and strong. That's what hurts.
Boy, he's some player. 6'3", 235 pounds.
Now got 88 solo tackles coming into this game.
Plays the run as good as just about anybody. Giants go to 5 defensive backs now. Jaworski has a blitz against him. He dumps it off. The ball skips off the hands of Mallory, who broke up the pass. So the Giants throwing different defenses at Ron Jaworski. That time they came with 5 defensive backs, and one of them came on a blitz.
Yes, they had excellent coverage, too. Besides adding all the pressure to Jaworski, so they stopped this Eagle drive, and the Eagles going to have to kick it away.
17 seconds to play in the first quarter, and the Giants lead the game 14-0. Bobby Hammond and Jimmy Robinson drop back deep as there is Mike Michel. ready to punt for the Eagles. That has been a weak suit in Philadelphia's play this year, their overall kicking game, where it's been one of the Giants' strongest.
Lately, Michelle has kicked well, though.
For a while there, they had a different place kicker every week. Same guys were coming back. He won't kick that one well. He got it away. That's fielded, fumbled, and recovered by Terry Jackson.
Well, he gets an A+ for effort then, I'll tell you that. What a job he does. A bad snap over the kicker's head. You see it. Dennis Franks on the snap. Right over Michelle's head. No chance to catch the ball. Going back, gets a pretty good hop here. He's chased down by McKinney, but look at the effort to get that football away. And Terry Jackson makes the catch.
Talking to Charlie Bednarik, the Eagles Hall of Famer, is with the team as a special coach. He was a great snapper and said in all modesty, he said, I can probably snap better than most guys in the league right now. It's a problem getting good snappers. Coder and Durnick are now the setbacks. Dan Durnick, a rookie out of Washington State, who has been the Giants' best per carry rusher, 5.5, but has had a shoulder problem. It's limited his playing time. Gets ahead for short yardage. Wilkes knocked him down, and the first quarter comes to an end. So the first quarter comes to an end here at Giants Stadium in East Rutherford with the Giants a surprising 14-0 leader.
Homeward bound, coast of New England. The Navy. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
Ladies and gentlemen, we challenged hotshot Dick Tchaikovsky to play the Mattel Electronics football game. Dick doesn't know. Inside is a tiny thinking computer that plays like a whole team of pros. Dick's got the ball, but that computer defense is tough. He drives up the middle, stop cold. 1 yard. Now, Dick cuts left, down the sidelines, touchdown. Mattel Electronics Pocket Football with a built-in computer.
Hey, who's in there?
Owens Corning built these 3 houses at its research center in Ohio to study the effect of 3 different levels of insulation. Nobody lives inside, but hundreds of electronic sensing devices measure the heat that flows out during winter and in during summer. What we're learning here helps us give you better advice about insulating your home, whether it's old or brand new. Want to know about insulation? Ask the experts. Ask Owens Corning.
Let's watch that punt by Mike Michelle of the Eagles a little bit ago. He did a great job. Here he is after fielding an over-the-head snap. He's fair game anyway once that ball hits down.
Boy, he did an excellent job just getting that thing away.
It's like a Pelé bicycle kick. So the ball is now to the 39-yard line. The Giants have it there, 1st and 10. They lead the game 14-0. Couldn't move the first time they had the ball. Scored touchdowns on their next possession. Rather, 2nd and 6 as we open the second quarter. Coder turns the corner and somehow slipped by some Eagles and got up the sideline out pretty close to the 48-yard line.
He made a nice little move. He dipped in and kind of froze everybody, then had the speed to get back outside. Watch this move that he'd make to kind of freeze everybody. Makes the handoff here. Watch it now. Here he comes in. Looks like he's going upfield. Everybody kind of slows up a little bit. And look at the rush. He gets around everybody there and picks up the first down. Good move.
And good for a first down for the Giants out to their 47-yard line. Robinson comes in motion. Eagle defense switches now as Pizarczyk throws in the flat. Robinson going for the ball and ruled to come in on the one hop.
James Thompson, he thought he caught it. Official in good position there to see whether this came up. Again, the play action.
Official's right
Giants
there.
having a lot of success with this. Joe is 6 out of 7 before this throw. Let's see if we can pick it up. The official says he trapped it, and you see where the official's standing.
Didn't have it, so it's going to be 2nd down and 10 now for the Giants at their 47-yard line. Robinson comes out wide to the left. Perkins, a flyer, is out wide to the right. He has 1 touchdown reception. Hammond has the other for the Giants as lead 14-0 early in the 2nd period. They go up the middle to Durning. Big 220-pound rookie fullback, and he crosses midfield. Somebody being attended to. Put his hand back together. Center, Guy Morris. So the ball is now on the Eagles side of the field. It is down to the Philadelphia 48-yard line. 3rd down coming up for the Giants.
Center's hands are like a piano player's hands. He's got to be able to control that football and having that exchange with the quarterback.
You can't wear those gloves, those padded gloves. Pizarczyk drills hard, and it's well broken up. Dropping back was Lemaster, one of the Eagles' 4 linebackers. Wilkes, Lemaster, Berge, and Ray Phillips backing the line. So that brings up 4th down, and Jennings is in for his 2nd punt of the game.
The Eagles borrowed a page from the Giants, and they came with a strong safety blitz. Randy Logan was in blitzing that time instead of covering on the pass.
John Shira is back deep as Jennings is ready to hit it. There is Shira, 2 times MVP for UCLA. Quarterback the UClans, and they upset Ohio State in the Rose Bowl in '75. Gonna let it go. And it hops into the end zone for a touchback, and the Eagles go on offense 1st and 10 at their 20. A 48-yard punt by Dave Jennings of the Giants. That stops the clock with 13:57 to play in the 1st half, and the Giants holding to a 14-0 lead.
Hey, nice. Where'd you get it?
Avis Rent-A-Car.
Avis introduces rent-a-cars you wish you owned, like the Chevy Caprice,
I think I'll park it myself.
the Cadillac Sedan DeVille, the Olds Cutlass, Buick Regal, the Pontiac Grand Prix. Rent-a-cars you wish you owned. Avis now features GM cars.
You know, for too long now, bowlers have been left out of light beer commercials, and football players have been grabbing all the glory. But bowlers know light beer from Miller tastes great. We know light's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. We know light's less filling. Bowlers love light just as much as football players.
That's right.
And we also love the easy opening can.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Sonny, there's a great one coming up next Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, here on CBS. The Redskins and the Cowboys with their 2nd meeting. They'll play at Irving, Texas.
Well, Washington must have been looking forward to playing Dallas on Thanksgiving because they're not playing much today so far against the St. Louis Cardinals, trailing 14-0.
I think they got one. Is it 14-0 now?
14-0.
That is a big upset if that goes through. Eagles have the ball as they go to a 1st down carry. Wilbert Montgomery, Giant linebackers keying on him as Philadelphia's most productive running back is cut down for no gain. Might have lost a yard. Martin hit him along with Brian Kelly. Now it's 21-0.
Cardinals now leading Washington 21-0. Hart has thrown 2 touchdown passes and that 70-yard punt return by Willard Harrell.
So Washington and Dallas wins today would be tied. That game would decide the leader in the NFC East next Thursday. Jaworski goes to the long count, gives up to Montgomery, and he breaks tackles and gets ahead for a 1st down. On a 2nd and 10 carry, Wilbert Montgomery got ahead for 14 yards and an Eagle 1st down.
Boy, he makes a good run here. The draw play, you see the blocking develop. Morris going through, trying to block Carson. He makes Carson take a side, but you see the strength of Wilbert Montgomery right here as he breaks. Brian Kelly keeps going. Finally, Van Pelt comes over and makes the play. 15 yards. Montgomery's got 43 yards and 8 carries so far.
That the Eagles have not moved the ball with consistency against the Giant defense. They've not thrown. Hand off right back to Wilbert Montgomery. He's a glider. Changes pace, shifts gears, rips into the middle, gets ahead to the 40 to the 39-yard line. Kelly on the knockdown for the Giants. Clock running in the 2nd quarter. 12:20 to play in the half. Giants leading 14-0. Jaworski is an amazing guy to be starting this game today. He was really shaken up. Playing against the Jets last week, threw a touchdown pass, was hit, left the game with very severe back spasms.
Talk to him on the field. He said, how do you feel? He says, very stiff. I want to avoid getting hit. Said, good luck.
That's the object. Hogan spins off, gets ahead out across the 40, close to the 42. Archer knocked him down for the Giants. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short carry now as the Eagles, without points yet, start to move the ball with runs.
Big play here for them. They need to keep this drive alive. Coming in with Bill Larson, 2 tight end offense.
Giants putting up 2 first-quarter touchdowns on throws from Pizarczyk, first to Hammond, then to Johnny Perkins. They like that Washington score here at Giant Stadium. Montgomery runs ahead. It's going to look like he's got the first down. He had to get to the 45. He did. So the Eagles get a tight one, but they do get the first down. Carson and Archer on the stop. We'll watch him do it again.
He just does pick it up here. Just a little lead block. Falling in. Gets across. Colin Hogan's block there, and he just gets across the 45-yard line, or right on the 45 by the first down marker.
For the most part, he has been the Eagle offense. 50 yards and 10 carries. Jaworski takes a deep drop. He's got time. He swings it out. Too much on the ball. Hogan going for it, and there's a penalty marker down in the secondary.
Downfield is some kind of interference call. Either the chucking roll, holding. We'll have to wait till the call to see what it was. Way downfield. Yep, that's what it's going to be.
An illegal chuck. Somebody got hit beyond 5 yards.
If we can pick this up on Harold Carmichael and see if he is... There, here we see him right now. Watch him. Let's see how many yards he goes. And there he's touched. You're not allowed to do that, Mr. Rhodes. And that wasn't even a... No, he did knock him off stride even, but that's the new ruling.
Touch him beyond 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. So the defensive penalty gives the Eagles a first down at midfield. They trail in the game, play in the first half. Slips off the left side down to the 46-yard line. He got 4. Kelly was on the hit for the Giants, as the game has not had football, but they can strike quickly. Jaworski's got a full field arm, and he's got a guy, Carmichael, who can get that deep.
They made a couple of mistakes and an excellent drive. I understand the best drive of the year for the New York Giants, and we hit Bobby Hammond. Excellent play to get them their first touchdown, and then the Eagles made a mistake in the secondary. Big mistake and left.
And that made it 14-0 with Canelo's extra point. That's how it stands now. Because it swings it out. He just threw the ball away. He was rushed, and the man, his safety valve there, Hogan, was also covered, so Jaworski just...
John Mendenhall came over. He wanted a lateral on that play. Whether or not it was a forward pass or a lateral. Now they call it an incompleted pass.
It was forward, looked to be.
Yeah, from my angle, and we're in pretty good position here, sitting right on the 50, that it was a forward pass.
And the big contrast in the quarterback statistics, Jaworski has now thrown the ball 9 times, has completed only 2 for 20 yards, and he's been intercepted once. Pizarczyk has completed 3 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Giants. Carmichael comes wide to the right. Ken Payne is in the... Jaworski on 3rd and 6 has to hurry. He puts it up. Man is open. His tight end Osborne holds on and gets a... So Osborne, as the Giants secondary was back in a deep zone, comes underneath and was wide open.
That's a crossing pattern again. And good call against the pass blocking here. Look at the time he has to throw the ball. Makes not a good throw. He throws it behind him. Oh, almost lost the handle on it. Makes a good catch.
Hear that term, the zone defense. Of course, the defensive players have a particular area of the field to protect. Do most teams have that now?
I didn't know that. What is that again?
Man coverage.
That's right, exactly right. They have a zone they go to, and you can cross those zones and find the open spot. Write that down, Brian.
Montgomery takes it down to the 29. Reading should do that during the week, huh?
Well, you watch this tackle by Harry Carson. Boy, he punishes ball carriers when he hits them. Getting down in his territory. Watch this. Lays off the block, and then, down.
He made the tackle 5 yards downfield. Actually, the center did a pretty good job. Morris held him off the play. So it's 2nd and 5 now for the Eagles at the 29-yard line of the Giants. Montgomery caught from behind. John Mendenhall comes through. A loss of 5 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and 10.
John Mendenhall, one of the smartest defensive tackles, obviously read the pull of the guard who was pulling. Tough block, make the play. He went with the guard, gets a hand on Montgomery and pulls him down. No chance for Montgomery to run. Good smart play by Mendenhall.
So that gives the down and yardage a whole different look for the Eagles and the Giant defense as it's now 3rd and 10. Eagle inside the Giant 35. Jaworski throws and Carmichael catches his 2nd ball of the day, and this again is good for a 1st down.
Good throw that time by Ron Jaworski. Had to throw the ball real early, covered by Ernie Jones. He patterned. He didn't have double coverage this time on Carmichael. Watch this. Watch how quickly he sets and throws the ball. Already throwing the ball. He just turned. Watch him practice that before the game down on the field, and they had to throw that ball real early to make sure that the defender doesn't have an opportunity to react and come back and make the play on the ball.
Giants were the last team to shut out Harold Carmichael. That's when his streak started. That was back in 1972. Giants held him out of the reception ever since 1970. Every game he's played in. He's played in every game the Eagles have played. Wide is Hogan, and he is knocked down for a loss as the Giants come up. Ray Rhodes forces the run in. Jack Gregory also is on the knockdown.
Gregory just plays off the block here and just strings it out. Just a slant by the fullback, Hogan. He has on Wallace. Plays it off, and he's in good position to make the play, and some help from Ray Rhodes. Had a 3-yard loss on the play. The New York Jets are leading the New England Patriots 7-3.
Now Carmichael goes wide left. Wide to the right is Ken Payne on a 2nd down and 13 plays. Jaworski looks. Carmichael's out there. Broken up by Ernie Jones. Carmichael had a touchdown, and Jones came from off the play and slapped it down.
I tell you, Ernie Jones makes an excellent play. He actually stayed in the middle defensively here, hoping Jaworski would throw this ball. He looked like he was open early, but then he starts moving. You see, he covers a lot of ground, goes up, just gets a hand on it. If not, the Eagles had their first touchdown.
Tell you one thing, you can get up as high as the big guy. Ernie Jones, who came here as a free agent. He was cut by Seattle because they said he wasn't a hitter, but he's proved to be that with the Giants. Been very consistent as the free safety. Eagles with a 3rd down now. 3rd and 13. Giants leading 14-0. Jaworski with a problem. Into the end zone, man is there. Again, the Giants come off the play, and this time it's Ray Rhodes who slaps it down in front of Charlie Smith. Smith was open. He was standing and waiting, and as the ball came in, Rhodes had time to recover and go back on it.
Jaworski forced out of the pocket here when he wanted to throw the ball. He gets forced out of the pocket. He does have Montgomery open. He went for the touchdown. Doesn't have anybody. Good coverage in the secondary. Kind of moves left. And watch the throw, and he's got a man open again. But you see Rhodes coming over, almost an interception. Boy, that's 2 plays in a row where they could have had a touchdown or an interception, right?
Giants had 2 guys open in the 1st quarter in the end zone, and resulting in 2 touchdowns. Field goal attempt is blocked, and the Giants have the ball at the Eagle at their 32-yard line. Zarczyk, wide receiver screen. Leading the blocking was Johnny out of the 22-yard line. They keep changing up, Sonny, on that Eagle defense. Looking a lot of different looks.
Yeah, good play calling. Had an excellent game plan going in because they have mixed it up.
Jimmy Robinson comes off the field. He's been averaging 24 yards of reception coming to this game. He's going to stay in. And then Thompson, 89, comes in.
A noticeable lack of penalties in this game.
Yeah, there have been.
Only one against the Eagles in the first half and 3 against.
That's been a change. On 2nd and 3, the handoff is to Coder. And again, with that good speed, he's outside, but he might have a clip against the Giants.
They have caught J.T. Turner then.
Dick Vermeil checking those computerized probabilities.
Yes, I think we're going to have a holding here. The flag was thrown into the area of J.T. Turner.
Giants are marching back. So the line of scrimmage, which was the 22, now go to the 32. It's a hold on Turner. Coach McVay seeing his team with a 14-6 lead.
He's doing a very careful study that time. Let's listen.
Holding 68. Offense, 2nd down.
The right guard, J.T. Turner, is called for the hold. Did he learn that at Duke?
I know that.
Duke bad.
Duke people know better than that.
Robinson rockets on the left flank. As Kazarczyk has 2nd and long, 2nd and over 10. Dumps it off to the tight end, Shirk, and he is ridden down inside the 25-yard line at the 23. Reggie Wilkes, first-year linebacker out of Georgia Tech.
Little check down, a little delay by Shirk inside. He delays, lets the back clear for him. The blitz is on, good throw. Just a little check-over pattern. Sometimes he gets lost in there. Good possession-type pass. The New England Patriots and the Jets all tied at 10 apiece in the 3rd period.
New England buried the Jets the first time they played. A lot closer today with 55-21 in the first one. 3rd down coming up and about 4. Handoff goes to Coder, turning upfield. He's inside and down to the 20. They have the ball spot right now. He does not get the first down. It'll bring up 4th down again. We might see 39 come on back out.
I would imagine you would kick this one. They come up short here. They're going to let Danilo kick it.
To the dismay of the quarterbacks. So the ball is at the 20-yard line of Philadelphia, and Danilo in the field goal unit comes out. Randy Dean will be in to hold.
One or more field goals in 12 games.
Yeah, Danilo's had a good year. He's kicked very consistently all season long. Hits it hard and long and through. And so the Giants extend their lead now to 17-6. So with 4 minutes and 21 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter, Danilo drilling the field goal gives the Giants a 17-6 advantage.
I'd like to show you how science helped create a new Mercury Marquis standard of driving comfort for '79. The most scientifically engineered Marquis in history and most beautiful. Computer-assisted design makes Marquis more spacious. No car in its class has higher ratings for room or trunk space. A new steering ratio makes Marquis more responsive. Even Marquis' ride has been re-engineered. Corners flatter, takes dips and bumps with greater stability. Test Marquis' new standard of driving comfort yourself.
If you've ever wondered how something so big got off the ground, part of the answer is light, strong aluminum. Aluminum's high strength and light weight made modern aviation possible. Aluminum is important to most forms of transportation because taking the weight off planes and trucks, and now cars, saves fuel. Aluminum in transportation can be an energy saver today.
That's the 13th straight game that Joe Danilo has hit a field goal for the Giants. He's been a big asset for them now as they up their lead to 17-6 with 4:21 left to play in the 3rd quarter. This is Don Criqui with Sonny Jurgensen at Giant Stadium in New Jersey. Danilo set to kick off. Giamona and Camfield are back deep for the Eagles. Ball's hit well. A yard deep. Giamona will bring it out. He's to the 10, 15, Still working. He's out to the 20. All that, and he got right where he would have got if he downed it, huh?
That's right. Atlanta's taking a 7-0 lead over the Bears. 7-yard pass from Steve Bartkowski to Jim Mitchell.
Atlanta's pretty good. They might be a wild card team.
It could be. Tell you, a game down in Washington today is a big game.
They're all big games now. That one Thursday is going to be a big game. Washington at Dallas, 3 o'clock on CBS Thanksgiving Day. Jaworski, not called for intentional grounding as the big rush was on. Coming very hard was Gary Jeter. Number 70 busting through, the Giants' #1 draft choice of a year ago.
You see the fake, a little fake, not much of a fake at all, but Jeter, boy, really comes and puts the rush on here. Archer first and Jeter second, and he just throws it in the ground. He did have Hogan open in the flat.
And one of the Giants' best players, Troy Archer, is down at the moment.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find us near your home.
Oh, hi, Mr. Megan. Posting and pasting more posters. This time it's for the first annual Delco battery sale. AC Delco is making it possible for you to buy a Freedom battery at a special sale price.
Thanks, Delco.
Wherever you see this poster, look for it in your neighborhood for a great price on a battery you can trust. Thanks, Delco. Well, you'll be saying thanks, Delco, too.
Such a simple miracle. In every glass of Gallo Premium wine, like Hearty Burgundy, you can see the sun because Gallo cares. In every glass, you can see the good earth because Gallo cares. In every glass, the round and lovely grape because Gallo cares. You can see and taste the care that Ernest and Julio Gallo take. Go with the good wine. Go with Gallo Hearty Burgundy.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, see highlights of the LA Times 500, plus the world's strongest men competition. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
The Cleveland Browns, with consecutive touchdowns, have come back from a 10-0 deficit. They lead the Colts at Baltimore 14-10. The Giants lead the Eagles here at Giant Stadium 17-6. Jaworski hasn't been able to get it done at quarterback. Fires downfield, too much on it for the big guy, Harold Carmichael. And Jaworski is triggering the ball quickly, and with good reason, as the Giants have been generating pressure on just about every play, Sonny.
Boy, is he upset with himself there. He had Carmichael splitting a zone outside. They had rolled up on him. You see his disgust right there with the throw that he made. He just overthrew him. And let me tell you, it's hard to overthrow Harold Carmichael.
You got to really get it up.
Watch him. You see the roll-up right there. Jones comes up and makes a little thing. But now he's in between defenders, and you see he had plenty of room there to catch the football. He just missed him.
Carmichael's averaged 52 catches a year for the Eagles over the past 5 years. Led the NFL with 67 receptions and 73. First year as a regular. Jaworski stands in, throws, and that time he puts it on the numbers of Harold Carmichael. Tony Viteri, one of the officials, spots the ball at the 32-yard line. The contact with the ball made right at the spot for a first down.
And the same pass they had success with earlier, the center pattern coming across the middle. He is under pressure by Mendenhall. He makes the throw. He catches it for the first down, but he is driven back. They give him the forward progress. He gets enough for the first down. He really went up in the air to catch that football. San Diego leading Minnesota 13-7. Dan Fouts, John Jefferson. The point after was missed.
Doing all right in the snow up there.
They are. They adapted to the cold weather, huh?
So far. Right now we have a 1st and 10 Eagles. They're down 17-6. Wilbert Montgomery really took a hit. Brian Kelly, 55, backing the line the right side. Phil to hit him. Jeter also was on the play. And it brings up 2nd down and 10 as there was no gain. Wilbert Montgomery, who's been averaging some 5 yards a carry, isn't getting up after this one.
Boy, he did get hit then, right, just as soon as he took possession of the football.
So right now, as Wilbert Montgomery is being attended to, we have a pause in the action. A timeout on the field with 3:02 to play in the third quarter, and the Giants leading the Eagles 17-6.
Nobody decides to be a drummer.
Ralph, please.
You just find yourself drumming.
Ralph, please.
It doesn't make you instantly popular.
Ralph, please.
No one asks you to play their favorite tune.
Ralph, please.
But with endless practice
Ralph, please.
and fanatical persistence,
Ralph, please.
you get there. Your drumming isn't just noise anymore. And you're not the only one who thinks so. When a lifetime of work has gone into playing a piece of music, Pioneer thinks you should hear all of it. So we design our high-fidelity components not to add anything or take anything away. That's why we've become #1 today with people who care about music. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
Giant Stadium sold out, as it always is. 76,000 season ticket holders. And today, the Giants are leading the Philadelphia Eagles 17-6. Temperature in the 50s, sunny day. And Wilbert Montgomery, unfortunately, is still down being attended to, the Eagles' best runner this season, returning after a couple of weeks out with an injury, hit hard on a carry-off tackle, and still down on the field at the moment. The big doings here on CBS Thanksgiving morning, 3 hours of parades from 5 cities, hosted by 10 of your favorite CBS stars. Jack Lord in Hawaii, Linda Lavin and Ron Liebman in New York, Valerie Bertinelli, Loretta Swit and Sherman Hensley in Detroit, Victoria Principal and Lyle Wagner in Toronto, and Bill Conrad is the general parade master. It's a great day, don't miss it. 3 hours of parades from around the country.
A couple other scores, Don. Dallas is leading New Orleans now with 1:02 left. Roger Staubach on a 1-yard run. They lead them 14-7 now. And Tampa Bay is leading Buffalo 17-3. That's in the third period.
And for the Eagles in white, trailing the Giants 17-6 third quarter. Jaworski screens it off. Hogan has the ball. He's got to get by Martin and does, but then he's run down from behind by Brian Kelly. Good play by Kelly. A loss of 3 yards. Sets the ball back to the 29.
It was the Giants have gone into 34 defense now. 4 up linebackers. And that time on the screen, Kelly coming from the other side, came across and ran down the ball carrier.
Washington's getting back in it.
42-yard pass from Joe Theismann to John McDaniel. They now trail the Cardinals 24-17.
In the third quarter, you had an interesting observation about Dallas, Sonny, when we were talking earlier. I wanted to ask you about it, where you think the Cowboys are headed and what their problems are. Jaworski looking, standing in, letting it go. Intercepted. Picks off the ball, has a cordon of blockers in front of him, takes the ball back down to the 35-yard line of Philadelphia. So the Giants get the ball right back.
Yes, it was. There were a lot of people around the football land. 2 or 3 people could have intercepted it. Too long a pass to try to throw that thing down the middle. Carmichael going down the middle. You see just coming across. Van Pelt is even. How many people had a shot at intercepting the football? Ernie Jones comes up with the interception.
So the Giants had talking about Dallas, they did have their problems. You said before they played Green Bay, they had a big game against the Packers. You thought they'd be tough the rest of the way.
I think they will. I think that Tom Landry peaks his team late purposely, and they've come back today against New Orleans, and New Orleans is a fine football team.
Long season, it's tough to stay up for the whole 16 weeks. Here's Pizarczyk looking. Out there is Shirk. Ball is tipped, incomplete. Herman Edwards, 46, and Randy Logan covering on the play.
Not much rush that time by the Philadelphia Eagle defensive line. He had a lot of time to throw the ball. He just couldn't find anybody open. Almost intercepted.
17 is the number the Giants have been stuck on for their last 6 games. That's as many points as they've generated in the last 6. That's where they are now, but they have command of this football game with 1:31 to play in the third quarter. It's Giants 17, Eagles 6.
With 8 seconds left in the first half, the Bears get on the board. Atlanta leads them 7-3.
Boy, did they go south. Bears.
What would this be, 9 in a row?
9 in a row. Won their first 3, lost the next 8. Pitch back goes to Hammond. Coder leads the blockers. Hammond dips outside, and Wilkes, who Dick Vermeil calls the best rookie linebacker prospect he's seen. He was the top choice of the Eagles coming in the 3rd round. That was their highest pick out of Georgia Tech. Made the play on Bob Hammond.
Coder did the same thing he had success with in the first half. He dipped in trying to freeze the linebacker and going back outside. That time, Reggie Wilkes played it well.
The Eagles haven't had a #1 draft choice since they had 2 in 1973 when they picked Sizemore, the right tackle, and Charles Young, who's now at the Rams. They get one next time around. So they're so unfamiliar, they're liable to pick a guy who wants to go to law school. Pizarczyk on 3rd down and 8. Stands right in tall. Drills it to Coder. Wilkes. Like wrong way, Corrigan, and he started the other way.
He's trying to get away from, again, Reggie Wilkes after he gets hit just as soon as he makes the reception. Take a look at this.
Wilkes should let him go.
That's right. He'd have kept going the other way. He had to get a lasso on him in a hurry, but watch him. He gets hit right here by LeMaster. Knocked back, and Wilkes is just chasing him back upfield. He had about a short yardage situation. They may have been in field goal range.
Not anymore, as you see Jennings into punt. John Shira back now as Jennings angles his punt. Oh, it just skipped in, and so it will be a touchback and a first down for the Eagles at their 20-yard line. A 38-yard punt by Jennings. So the clock is stopped in the 3rd quarter. 34 seconds to play in it. And the Giants leading the Philadelphia Eagles 17-6. The Eagles hoping for a wild card spot. They felt they couldn't afford too many more losses, but those wild cards are going to go down to the last weekend, no question.
Looks that way, doesn't it, with everybody being in the thick of things. It's going to be a dogfight right down to the end. And, of course, the big game on Thursday, you can see right here on CBS, it's going to be a good one, isn't it?
It'll be a real good one. That's going to be the Redskins and the Cowboys at Dallas. Right now, the Redskins are losing to St. Louis. The Cowboys are winning over New Orleans, so if it holds up that way, it would be for first place in the NFC East. Montgomery's back in. After being shaken up, he has the football. Gets ahead for about 3 yards. Jeter, number 70, made the play on him.
Robert Montgomery wants that 100-yard day again, I think. Coming back in after getting bruised up a little bit.
Well, he really wants to get in the end zone. They haven't done that yet here today. Well, they did one time, and then the extra point was missed. Giants have been there twice, and also with a Danilo field goal, they had the 17-6 lead. Right now, the gun sounds. That is the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Giants 17 and the Eagles 6, and we now pause for a word from your local station.
Be watching as a dedicated newspaper editor takes an eye-opening look at what life in a ghetto school is really like when the Reverend Jesse Jackson makes a surprise appearance in Lou Grant tomorrow night on CBS.
Start your Sunday evening viewing with 60 Minutes. Then a fight to the finish over money on All in the Family. Next, Mel's Thanksgiving runs afoul of the law on Alice. Then Lucy comes to Nashville. And on Dallas.
May not be his father about baby?
You tell me. It all starts at 7, 6 Central and Mountain.
Back at Giant Stadium, we're ready now for the start of the 4th quarter. The Eagles trailing the Giants 17-6. We've had only 3 points in the second half. A field goal by Joe Danello. As the Eagles go back on offense now, they'll have second down coming up as we open the fourth quarter. Second and about 7 from their 23-yard line. Jaworski is the quarterback. Has hit 10 of 22 for 112 yards. Has been intercepted twice. That's been a problem. Montgomery, the leading rusher in the game, with 77 yards and 18 carries for Philadelphia. Wilbert Montgomery puts his head down and off. Looks like Lloyd might be on a late hit.
Late hit. Nose guard.
Or face mask. Something.
Yeah. Pull in the face mask. I'm glad he concurs with what we have surmised, huh?
There you go. It's another 10 yards, though, for the Eagles as they advance the ball now out through the 4-yard line. They've got a long way to go. They had one big gainer today, the pass to Carmichael.
Face mask.
Resulted later in a
54.
touchdown.
Defense. First
you
down.
can pick it up right there. Lloyd had it. Just in the tackle, wrapping around the end of 34 defense.
Lloyd doesn't chit-chat with you out there. He's a hitter.
Those linebackers are that way.
Pitch back. Hand up to Harold Carmichael. He gavels up a lot of yardage with each stride. He advances the ball for a first down to the 45-yard line of the Giants.
What about that little gadget, a little reverse here? They faked that earlier. This time the pitch back to Hogan. Nice handoff, good exchange. Something you have to work on a long time in practice to make that exchange. Look at this man, 6'8". His ability to move. Oh, got a good block there. Cuts back out. And then it's caved in time. And out of bounds.
But a 21-yard gainer, and the Eagles have the ball down to the Giants' 45-yard line on a first down. We're in the opening minute of the fourth quarter. Montgomery down to the 42, where 3. Lloyd hit him. Gregory also on the bottom of the pile.
The New England Patriots lead the New York Jets 16-10. Horace Ivory on another 11-yard run for a touchdown. The point after was blocked.
Sonny, who do you think is the best team in the league right now?
That's tough. That is tough. To single one out. I think, you know, it's the way people are playing, and it's been so even throughout. Everybody upsetting everybody.
I think the Rams will go a long way.
Everybody else.
How about the Rams?
They have an opportunity yet, as much as anybody else.
Montgomery gets it inside the 40. Yeah, Gregory knocked him down. So you were saying before, it's so tough to keep a team high for 16 games, and Landry has a history of getting it ready down the stretch.
That's it. They took a little re-eval the season because they were making mistakes and costing themselves games. But when they went down to play Miami, they played 3 quarters of good football, and he feels like, Coach Landry feels like they've returned now, and they're going to be in the thick of it all the way down the line.
Third down now for the Eagles. Jaworski goes to the run on 3rd and 5 and doesn't get there. The Giants shut it down. Running with the ball was Billy Campfield, knocked down by Van Pelt.
What do you do here? They're going to gamble? Nope. They're going to kick it away. St. Louis has come back and got a 27-yard field goal from Jim Bocking, and they now lead Washington 27-17.
So the Cardinals, after losing their first 8, could be on the way to winning their 4th in a row.
They've got their offense back intact, and that's any time that you give Jim Hart time to throw the football behind that good offensive line, he's trouble.
Isn't he? These Eagle coaches were high in their praise of Hart. They said he's his toughest. Michelle fakes the run with the punt, then hits it into the end zone. Holly was down, touchdown. It was a perfect spiral. But there is a penalty marker down, so it might come back. It was a 4th and less than 5. If the call's against the Giants, it would be result in the first down, but it is not. The signal's against the Eagles, so the play will go. Giants are going to take the ball at dirt 20, 1st and 10 with 12:26 left to play in the game.
Ineligible player downfield, offense, first down.
So we have a break in the action with 12:26 left to play in the game, and the Giants continuing to lead the Eagles 17-6.
When you farm your own land, the work never ends, but you do it with what you can muster. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer.
It's time to relax. One beer stands clear. If you've got the time, Miller beer.
Our little cats from Lincoln Mercury are tough on competition. Starting with October 6th production, our Bobcat has more standard equipment than last year. And Bobcat's sticker price, as shown, is probably equipped. It's $181 less than a 78. Great, Bobcat. Our Monarch has handsome styling, luxuriously equipped, and it's right engineered. Monarch's price, just $45.58. That's class. You'll find big values at the sign of the little cat.
First and 10, Giants. They lead the game 17-6. 12:26 left to play. Wide right is Perkins. Wide left is Robinson. Setbacks, Doug Coder and Willie Spencer. Coder is stopped by Wilkes. Good play by the rookie linebacker. 51, taking his position, waiting for Coder to make the move, and then Wilkes drilled him, knocked him down. 2nd and 11.
Interesting bit of information from our statistician here, Don. Montgomery has rushed 22 times for 88 yards. New York, for New York, is only 81 yards, and with that loss of one, now back to 80 yards.
The bottom line is New York right now, 17-6, Giants leading. Dornick and Hammond now the running backs for the Giants. They keep alternating running backs, keep fresh Terriers in. Dornick gets out to the 25-yard line, picks up 5, 3rd and 5. Tampa Bay's got it together down there today.
Well, they have 24-3 over Buffalo in the 4th period now. Mike Gray, that's his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. This one to Jimmy Giles.
There's John Bunting, who is a real good outside linebacker for the Eagles. Went out with a knee injury earlier and, of course, lost for the season. Third and 5, Giants. They go to the reverse. Here comes Perkins. Didn't get there. Had to get to the 30. They knocked him out of bounds at the 28. So Vermeil, who went to computer football playing percentages, gets it to work as the Giants are unable to generate a first down after the punt by the Eagles. And now Philadelphia will get the ball back with 10:54 left to play in the game. St. Louis, as you see, holding to the 10-point advantage over Washington in the 3rd quarter. What about the Skins?
Skins are having a little trouble.
What's their trouble?
Points. I tell you, give a lot of credit to Cardinals. They've come back and started playing football.
They really have. Jennings hits a line drive, but it's over the head of Shara. What do we have here? That looks like a free football. Papali picks it up and is knocked down at the 8.
I never seen anything like that.
Ball was batted back, and finally Papali picked it up for the Eagles. He was quickly knocked down, so Philadelphia gets the ball back, but they're in the hole to go 1st and 10 when we come back.
Is your gas doing everything it could for your car? Be sure with STP gas treatment, because it really helps. Clean, fight rust in the fuel system. It even helps get water out of your gas tank. And it's easy to use. STP gas treatment. It really helps. Yeah, for my car, it's STP.
There are lots of batteries out there, performing all kinds of demonstrations. We simply say this: the J.C. Penney battery is so powerful, it's warranted for as long as you own your car. If it ever charges, return it with proof of purchase. We'll replace it free. And it never needs water, ever. It's the last battery your car will ever need.
NFL with the NFL Today, followed by a full slate of regional games. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Here is the punt by Jennings. It was a low line drive, but it went over the head of John Shira, resulting in the 51-yard punt. But some weird things happen here.
Yes, he touches it when he comes up right here off his shoulder. I think McKinney hits the ball, knocks it down. Then they have to, it's a dogfight to see who's going to come up with the football. The Eagles finally recover, but back on their own 8-yard line.
Brad Van Pelt's number on that monkey. Camfield runs ahead. Brad Van Pelt knocked him down as the Eagles need the big play now, trailing 17-6 in the fourth quarter.
Matt Robinson threw 56 yards to Wesley Walker. The Jets trail New England 17-16 now.
They lead the New England 17-16.
Oh, that's right. They lead New England.
On 2nd and 6. Jaworski had a play fake, throws hard, and Carmichael catches the ball, and that's a football player which gets waffled between two guys with a running start. Holds on for an 18-yard gain and an Eagle first down. Jones and Otis McKinney popped him, and they got him.
Excellent fake. Watch your fake by Jaworski. Look at the fake. Looking back at the ball carrier. Kept the ball on his hip, and then throws a strike to Carmichael. And, boy, look at the contact here. Jones, he's sandwiched in between there. Jones and McKinney, and he still holds on to the football.
Jaworski, 11 for 23, 130 yards. The Eagles able to generate only one touchdown and no extra point after it. 17-6 Giants. Good play by Terry Jackson. Jaworski released it. Carmichael was going for it, and Jackson tipped it away.
Again, Hal Carmichael drawing double coverage this time. Watch the roll up at the top of your screen. Jones going deep, Jackson up close, double coverage. They know that that's who Jaworski wants to go to. He does throw in the coverage this time. Good pass coverage over there. 2 people on Carmichael. Somebody's got to be running open.
He's caught 4 for 94 yards, Carmichael, and also had that end around and reverse for 21 yards. But the Eagles are still mired in their own end of the field, unable to get across midfield and trailing 17-6 with 9:08 to play. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Jaworski getting more time, throws it out to Hogan. The blue shirt converge on him. Knock him down short of the first down. He'll be a yard short where he was hit by Van Pelt.
Couldn't find anybody downfield, so this time he takes the swing back coming out of the backfield. You see how long he waits to try to get downfield. Boy, did they do a job on Jerry Jeter then. Throws the outlet pass. This time he completes it. And you watch this. He makes a good move here, trying to pick up the first down. Comes up a little short. A lot of people around the football.
3rd and less than a yard. Go to a power alignment. Hogan gets ahead and gets the first down with 8:10 to play and the clock running. So the Eagles get the ball out across their 40, get it to their 42. Still a long way from the Giant end zone. As you see the comparative statistics, Zarczyk had the big first quarter, hit 6 of his first 7, 2 of them for touchdowns.
Big possession by the Eagles. They need points this drive.
Need him badly right now. Jaworski takes a look, fires. Boy, he can throw that hard ball. Here's a penalty marker down. Tim Payne was interfered with. So the Eagles get an automatic first down at the point of infraction, which was the 40.
Pretty tough call here on the rookie Terry Jackson from San Diego State. If you can take a look at it, see what happens. See when he makes the contact. Payne coming across. May have got his hand on the back of him early. Tough call. I doubt if it would have been a completion to begin with.
24, defense, first down.
Calls on Jackson. So now the ball is at the Giant 40. Eagles first and 10. Harold Carmichael positions himself out at the top of your screen on the right flank. Jaworski's going to be throwing. Got to hurry. He gets it away to Hogan up the middle of the field, and he gets it down to the 32-yard line. Gain of 8.
Boy, what a Houdini act he pulls here. To get away from that. Take a look at this. Watch Gary G to come in. Comes right in here, has Jaworski all wrapped up. He escapes this and makes the completion to Hogan. Boy, how he gets out of that and finds a receiver.
Jeter had Lucan, the Eagle guard, beaten, but couldn't hold on to Jaworski when he got to him. Second 2 now. Long 2. Hogan runs. Thrown back at the 30. Very close to a first down. He had to get the ball to the 30 to get a first down. It's going to be close enough to measure here, Sonny.
Pretty good call here. Short yardage draw play. Trying to slow Jeter up a little bit because he's been rushing the passes so well. You saw he got taken to the inside that time by Tom Lucan. But Van Pelt was there to make the play. Very close to a first down if he didn't get it. Oops. Would you believe inches, huh?
That's all, just inches, but they do have a third down coming up. So the ball is positioned just short of the Giant 30. 6 minutes and 38 seconds left to play in the game. Giants 17, Philadelphia Eagles 6. Next week, the Giants go to Buffalo. The Eagles go to St. Louis. This one holds up the way it stands right now. They both come out of this game with 6-6 records. The Eagles will be firing right down the stretch here, trying to get back in it. Jaworski looks, pump fakes, lets her rip. Penalty marker on Jackson, the second against him. He chopped Harold Carmichael. That was wise to do.
It certainly was good, smart play by Jackson because if he didn't, they had a touchdown. Smart play. He was beaten for the touchdown. He had to cut him. What about that call on 3rd and inches?
Yeah, well, I guess when you're down 17-6, you go right to your bag of tricks with everything you got.
There was one guy that was running for that could have made the play on it if Jackson didn't hit him. Let's listen.
Pass interference, 24, defense, first down.
With Ernie Jones was running that way, and he made a play like that earlier.
Robert Newhouse of Dallas just went out of the New Orleans game with a fractured right leg.
He's their best football player, their best running back.
Jaworski on first down. Running him down here is a throw to the tight end, Osborne. And he's down to the 3. And so the clock continues to wind down to 6 minutes and running. Giants 17, Eagles 6, Eagles challenging, but they've got a problem now getting it in.
That extra point miss could really haunt them later on. Good job there by Jaworski going rolling right. Harry Carson in on the tackle.
Boy, that's the truth, that extra point you referred to. Eagles have to score 2 touchdowns.
That kicking game has really hurt him. A misplayed punt. A bad snap.
And it's first and goal at the 4. Jaworski looks, throws. Osborne out of the end zone. 2 officials right on it. No, Dick, didn't get that one. 6 for Meal, looking for 6. But 2 officials right on the play. Now the Patriots have come back to take the lead from the Jets 19-17 on a 23-yard field goal by David Posey in the 4th quarter.
Unusual call. First down, first and goal inside of the 5. Lombardi would have yanked you out of the game and said, young man, You've just wasted 11 people's effort out there. Run the ball in.
They stopped the clock at least. Second and goal from the 4. Campfield runs, and he got nowhere. There's a penalty marker down the play. Mendenhall ate him up as he came off in the sled.
Now you're going to have to end up throwing the thing. According to the penalty, it's a holding call. It could be costly. A little motion call. Illegal motion.
So that hurts the Eagles, helps the Giants with 5:15 left to go. The line of scrimmage was the 4. It was second and goal from there. Jaworski has now thrown the ball 28 times. Has completed 14 for 156 yards. They intercepted him twice in the second half. In the first half.
69, offense, penalty decline, third down.
Chicago Bears have come back to lead the Atlanta Falcons 10-7. Walter Payton on a 2-yard run.
Bears looking to end a losing streak that's now reached 8 games. And the Eagles, who came into Giant Stadium with playoff aspirations, with a big problem now. It's going to be third and goal from the 4-yard line. Jaworski looks, throws, a man is open. Osborne lost the ball.
We got a flag down. May have roughing the passer.
But we do have.
What a break for the Eagles. Automatic first down.
At the 2. Automatic first down at the 2. A couple guys got to Jaworski just as he released the ball. So now the ball is advanced down to the 2-yard line. 5:09 left to play, and the Eagles with a first and goal there.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 64 defense, first down.
John Mendenhall got carried away.
Well, tough call. Tough call, I tell you. Got all the injuries to the quarterbacks. You got to protect the quarterback. This man took a beating last week.
He really took a beating. I tell you, they're all taking a beating. You took a beating.
I'm glad I'm up here.
18 years of beating. Handoff. Did not crack the play, and he's down to the goal line, but not in. Carson filling as time is becoming very much a factor working against the Eagles. Clock running under 5 minutes as Dick Vermeil checks the clock. The Eagles send in substitutes. The ball is advanced inside the 1-yard line, as you see. The Giants holding to a 17-6 lead.
Yeah, they need to get this touchdown and so they can get their defense on the field and get the football back.
Jaworski might call his own number, 7. Giants hold. It'll be third and goal from the 1. Van Pelt shot over the top as that defensive front submarine the offensive blockers. Then the linebackers come in to hit those bazooka hits.
Boy, Kelly came in there also. Good play by Kelly. Coming in, Larry Barnes is coming in the backfield with a play. Campfield coming out.
And very importantly, Sonny, that clock continues to run.
Gary Jeter's going off the field limping. Somebody got hurt a little earlier. Troy Archer's got to come back on. There's going to be a timeout call here. Get Jeter off the field.
Gary Jeter walking it off.
Yeah.
Official timeout while he leaves the field. Now we're back and ready to go. The clock starts up. 4:12 left to play in the game. Third and goal from inside the 1 for Philadelphia. Touchdown Eagles with 3:59 on the clock. The Eagles put in their second touchdown. Mike Hogan diving over the top to get it.
They get in for the touchdown here, the same play. They got the first down with earlier. Little slant off tackle. Good blocking at the point of attack by Walters. Front side of that line over there. Walters looking. Good lead block that time by Larry Barnes. Going in, allowing Hogan to get in. But here comes a big play for the Eagles, their kicking game.
I'll tell you, talk about putting the excitement back in the extra point. You're not sure what's going to happen.
Nothing wrong with the snap.
It's of little consequence, really, because even if they made it, they still need another touchdown. They'd be down 17-13 if they made it. 3 minutes and 59 seconds left to play, and Eagle is down. Looked like the would-be kicker, who turned out to be a passer, Mike Michelle.
I always thought my first trip home would feel just like a dream, but I can't shake the memories inside.
If you join the people who've joined the Army, you'll become part of something that becomes a big part of you.
Strength and satisfaction and the help of friends who care. Their memories, they're yours to keep. They're mine to keep and share.
When I press this button, a new era in photography begins. Polaroid introduces Sonar Automatic Focusing. This camera sends out inaudible sound waves that bounce off the subject and return in a split second. The lens automatically rotates to perfect focus. You can get a precisely focused picture every time in minutes at the touch of one button. The new Sonar One Steps from Polaroid, the world's simplest camera.
Watch John Shaw get handicapped with the snap because of his knee up. The ball gets into his knee. He loses his snap. To get that leg out of the way, but boy, the man that pays the price for it is a field goal kicker who gets maimed.
Mickemeyer still down. About 4 of those big Giants fell on him. So the Eagles get back in the ball game, and there is still time left to make it interesting, as it is a 17-12 game. The Giants are in the lead, and they'll be getting the football back. But there is a pause in the action while Nick Mickemeyer is attended to. Mickemeyer, who played college football at Temple, born in Bologna, Italy, and grew up in nearby Passaic, New Jersey. Originally an Atlanta Falcon.
Now the score, Dallas has got another touchdown, a 21-yard pass from Roger Staubach to Billy Joe Dupree. They now lead New Orleans 21-7.
Next week, the 13th weekend of play in the National Football League, the Los Angeles Rams meet the Browns at Cleveland. New Orleans is at Atlanta. The Giants play the Bills at Buffalo. Minnesota goes against the Packers at Green Bay. Philadelphia meets St. Louis. And Tampa Bay is at Chicago. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. And, of course, all the action begins with the NFL Today pregame show with Brent Musburger, Jane Kennedy, and Irv Cross. Nick Mickemeyer comes off the field as he was fallen on hard after another errant extra point try by the Eagles. They have now gone 0 for 2 in this game. Let's see if Michelle, who is in to kick, tries an onside kick. Mike Michelle hits it well. Hammond's the only man back. Backpedaling, he steps into the end zone. And the Eagles knock him down at about the 18-yard line. So the Giants take over 1st and 10 with 3:50 to play, leading the game 17-12. Sonny?
Tampa Bay 31, Buffalo 3. They're in the 4th quarter. Tampa Bay really put it together today.
Again, it was Cleveland Franklin coming down to make the hit on kickoff coverage for the Eagles.
Seattle's leading Kansas City 13-3.
The line of scrimmage just inside the 19-yard line. So the Giant defense will try to grind it out now, keep the clock running and move those chain markers and run out the game. They lead by 5, 17-12. The Eagles looking to fill in there. Stop the Giants and get the ball back so Jaworski can start pitching again. Here's a throw in the flat. With the ball is Jimmy Robinson. And the little guy moves ahead to the 30-yard line. He's got a 1st down for the Giants.
They've run that play 3 times. They've been successful all 3 times. This was a big play he broke in the 1st half. The little screen pass out, blocking in front of him.
And he stayed in bounds to keep the clock running, forcing the Eagles to take one of their 3 allotted timeouts. When we come back, the Giants will have the ball 1st and 10.
We're
We're here to remove this dead tree with a Skill Saw brand chainsaw. It's solid state for easy starts, light and controllable, with patented anti-vibration handles and an exclusive inertia chain brake system that works when others won't. Plus, skill, quality, and dependability won't let you down. Skill Saw chainsaws. To do it with confidence, do it with skill. And the exclusive inertia chain brake system that works when others won't.
You can tell by their scarlet glare, they're now. You can tell by the way they're getting there, they're now. The Futura is now.
There's a distinctive personal car for now, the 79 Futura, with tomorrow's look right now, space efficiency for now, high mileage ratings that are now, and a sticker price that says, why wait?
The future isn't someday, it's now.
Futura is now.
Fairmont Futura, at your Ford dealers.
Get ready for Bobby Vinton's Rock and Rollers with Penny Marshall, Eric Estrada, and more. It's dance, it's roller skating, it's madness like Grease on Wheels. Coming November 20th.
This is Don Quickie with Sonny Jurgensen back at Giants Stadium in New Jersey. 3:37 left to play in the game. Giants 17, Eagles 12. Giants with the ball first and 10 at their 30. Coder turns upfield, gets out to the 35-yard line, is knocked down there.
Coder did a very smart thing as we're going to get another timeout call. As he was getting ready to be tackled and make contact, he covers up the ball with both hands, making sure he protects this thing and the ball doesn't come out.
We've had, what, 3 interceptions in the game. Giants have picked off Jaworski twice, and Ron Howard made that big play.
Word over at that Richard Todd has re-injured his shoulder.
That's in the Jets game. The Jets went ahead of New England, have now fallen behind 19-17 in the fourth quarter. The Eagles looking to get the ball back, but they only have 1 timeout remaining, and they've taken 2 in this Giant drive. Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time, it's the CBS Sports Spectacular. Cale Yarborough, who's already clinched his 3rd consecutive NASCAR title, leads the way with highlights of the Los Angeles Times 500-mile race for stocks. Yarborough is the first man to win the national title 3 consecutive years. And then you'll see World's Strongest Men competition, the wrist roll, next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
There's a coach down on the Philadelphia Eagle bench that can enter that one. I can tell you that. The guy by the name of Marion Swampbox Campbell. Well, you don't think he's strong in the hands? Just see him put Brookshire down on the ground with 2 fingers.
Really?
Oh, is he strong.
He's a good lineman, good defensive coach now. He's the defensive coordinator. Fumble, free football. Eagles have the ball. You never know until the gun sounds what might transpire, and the Eagles defense comes up with a big play. Dennis Harrison's off the bottom of the pile, and Wilkes has the football. He's going to take it out with him.
They did exactly what they had to do, and that is take the ball away. Take a look at it right here. A big hit was made by Harrison.
Coder lost it.
And Wilkes comes in with the recovery.
So each team has now had 2 turnovers. Coder, a sure-handed running back, took the full brunt of a 275-pound lineman who got a tee shot at him and nailed him. Ball pops free. The rookie linebacker Wilkes takes the ball for the Eagles, and they now have it first and 10 at the 33. So this one's going to go right down to the wire. 3 minutes and 22 seconds left to play in the game. Eagles trailing the Giants 17-12. The Eagles with the ball, though, on the turnover. Jaworski just gets it away. Almost intercepted by the Giants.
Oh. If you tip that thing, tip it down. Oh. What a play. Jaworski back, pass rush coming on, doing a pretty good job protecting. He gets hit from behind.
Shaky
He has
time.
the ball, too. If Carson gets a hand on that, he intercepts it.
Now, of course, those 2 missed. The San Diego Chargers have just upset the Vikings 13-7 at Minnesota. One's never sure what's going to happen here. And we don't know the outcome of this one. The Giants had command most of the way. Now the Eagles have a chance to possibly win it. 3:16 left to play. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Jaworski looks, throws. This time Hogan hangs on. Breaks one tackle and gets ahead. And, of course, those timeouts that the Eagles used to stop the Giant drive are becoming a factor. Now they have but one remaining as the clock winds down to 3 minutes. Van Pelt on the play.
Same pass as before. This time Hogan makes the catch. You watch just the delivery out of the backfield, the swing pass. Everybody's so far back guarding against the home run ball.
Yeah.
And that's why he's open underneath. Same type of pass. You see the clock. It's running down to 2:40.
Third down and 3. They go to the run. Canfield lost the ball, and an Eagle recovered it for a first down at the Giant 19. And the clock continues to wind down. 2:20. The Eagles will take it down to the 2-minute warning and get a free one.
You talk about the bounce of the football. Is this the right bounce for the Philadelphia Eagles? Watch this. Canfield finds a little opening, goes through, loses the ball, and an Eagle's right there to recover.
Giants almost got it back, got a cough up, and now we'll have the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go as Jaworski will come over for some counsel from his coach, Dick Vermeil. The Giants holding to a precarious 17-12 lead.
When you break horses for a living, the worst part is knowing they might break you first. Once you've done your job, the best part is knowing you've turned a terrified animal into a horse a man can count on. And now comes Miller time. Time to ease off and head for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
When it's time to relax, one beer stands clear. Miller beer. You got the time, we got the beer. Miller beer.
Another touchdown by field goal by Bob Thomas. The Bears lead Atlanta 13-7. Baltimore trailing Cleveland now 24-10. Brian Sipes hit another pass to Calvin Hill. One was 53 yards and this one 38 yards.
And the Cleveland Browns were behind in that game 10-0.
That's right, and New England has defeated the Jets 19-17.
All right, they're standing now at Giant Stadium as we come down the stretch. 2 minutes to play. 2 minutes. 1st and 10 Eagles inside the Giant 20. Giants lead 17-12. Canfield, as they try to cross up the Giant defense, it does not work. The Giants still stop the run and the clock runs. 1:50 to go and running.
Unusual call. They were trying to cross them up, trying to catch the defensive line of the Giants, twisting, coming in there, trying to rush the passer. Sometimes when you do that, you can break one up the middle.
All right, clock at 1:37. 2nd and 10. Jaworski looks. Pump fakes. Gets it away. Intercepted by the Giants. The ball is picked off by Otis McKinney. As it skipped off the hands of a wide-open receiver, Otis McKinney gets the carry, intercepts. The Giants have it back. And now, with 1:23 left to play, they look like they can run the game out.
Yes, they can. Again, the ball just thrown through. The receiver should have had the ball. It came right through. And the Giant defense, give them credit. They've been swarming all day. Otis McKinney having to come in and sub for the injured Larry Mallory has really done a job here, and he comes up with a big interception, and he wants that football.
He was the Giants' #2 draft choice as he's congratulated by defensive coordinator Dick Modzelewski.
Another final in. Tampa Bay beat Buffalo 31-10.
Now they go into a tight formation very close to Bizarchik. He's not even a risk a handoff. Bizarchik takes the ball down at his 17-yard line, and the guys start to mix it up.
Poise, poise, poise. Keep your poise.
maintain their decorum here over the last minute. Dick Vermeil has his team challenged right down into the final minute and a half of the game to go ahead, losing it on an interception.
Let's take a look at this. You see Pisarcik getting on the ground. Spencer trying to hold him off. But LeMaster just keeps coming.
Willie
and
Spencer.
Then a little fisticuff starts, a little pushing and shoving, and the only thing you're going to hurt in that situation are your hands, because you're hitting cages and helmets and everything else.
And now the Eagles are given their final timeout. With 1:11 left to play, we'll be back in a moment.
According to the broadcaster's VIR color signal, automatically, this is GE Performance Television.
Here they come.
This year, you want to give your family a holiday to remember. That's why you should remember Beneficial. Because Beneficial wants to lend you the full amount you have in mind to give your family all the good things they deserve.
I love Santa. Me too.
Phone Beneficial for your holiday loan today.
Second down now and 13 for the Giants, but they're just looking to run that clock, and they do. They go to Zonka, straight up the middle. Zonka gets out to the 29-yard line. And the Eagles out of timeouts with a minute left to play and the clock winding down below that. So it's Giants football now, 3rd and 2. We thank our producer, Bob Rowe, our director, Jim Silman, and our CBS crew, batter and statistician John Marin, Tom McHugh here at Giant Stadium. As the clock winds out on the Philadelphia Eagles, a game they thought would project them into a possible wild card position. It would bring them 7-5 had they won, but a late interception by the Giants will preserve a Giant victory. An upset win as the Giants lead 17-12, and we're inside 30 seconds. The Eagles have no timeouts. Wait a minute. Here's a free foot. I don't believe it. The Eagles pick it up, and Herman Edwards runs it in for a touchdown. An incredible development. Just like the opening game of the season when the New England Patriots were running the game out against the Washington Redskins. A fumble. This is the most astounding development. This is even more unbelievable.
Just doesn't get the snap. He just loses the snap, doesn't get it. And who's right there? Herman Edwards picks it up on the dead run and goes in for a touchdown.
Absolutely unbelievable. Zonka and Pisarcik missed the connection. The ball hops up on the one hop to Herman Edwards. He's got an open lane right into the end zone with 20 seconds left while the Giants are running out the game with a 7. Look at Dick Vermeil. He can't believe it. I guess he feels he's got one coming after some of the close ones he lost. The opening game of the season, they beat the Rams all over the field and then lost on the longest field goal that Frank Corral had ever kicked. And Corral played for him at UCLA, and the Rams won it. And this is an incredible development against the Giants and for the Eagles. A fumble. Now they make an extra point. Well, with 20 seconds left, the Eagles lead the Giants 19. That's unbelievable. I've seen Dempsey kick a 63-yard field goal. I fell out of the press box of that one. Unbelievable. And, of course, we once again wish our very best to Leonard Toews, the president and owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, who underwent open-heart surgery earlier this week and who is recuperating. We're happy to tell you very well. Philadelphia leading New York 19-17. Sonny, you see
unusual thing about the play, John, to me was all they had to do was run that one play and the clock would have run out. Yet he was trying to make a handoff. He was spinning, pivoting, trying to make a handoff where he could have just sat down on the football. Absolutely. Why they were trying to run a handoff off tackle to pick up a first down, I don't know, because the Eagles were out of timeout.
And then earlier on this drive, he took the snap and fell down.
That's right. If he were doing that then, he would have been okay.
You almost couldn't program this to happen that way. We'd have a misconnection like that where the ball would come up, but the Eagles no timeouts. Hops up on the one hop, and Herman Edwards said, "Thank you so very much." Fell right in his hands, and off he went. So the Eagles, with perhaps as dramatic turnabout and a comeback win in the history of the franchise, I know you have to go back a long way, and they go back a long way to find anything like this. Line drive kickoff. Skipping on through. Ball is picked up by Bob Hammond. Across the 20. Hard hit is put on by Johnson, and the Eagles are going to win. Now the Giants still have their timeouts. 15 seconds left. This is like that Detroit game of many years ago. They threw to maybe Cogdill. Giants still have their complement of timeouts remaining. Clock stops inside the last 2 minutes. Change of possession. The ball's at the 20-yard line.
I'll tell you, 15 seconds. I've hit home runs in 15 seconds, Don. I hit Tommy McDonald against the Washington Redskins one time with about a 60-yarder with 5 seconds to go to beat the Redskins. Lot can happen.
That's when you were an Eagle.
That's when I was with the Philadelphia Eagles. So
I guess you go over your career, you could probably pick out nothing's over unless you shoot the gun.
You better, yeah, that's exactly right.
Some of these Giants, I wish they shot them the way this is going to turn out now. Downfield to Perkins. Look at that game at New Orleans last week, where Atlanta tipped the ball in a desperation play and scored. It'll be second down for the Giants. 7 seconds on the clock. Charlie Bednarik congratulating Dick Vermeil. Telling you, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely unbelievable.
Never seen a thing like that, though, especially when you're just running out the clock. You're just stopping the clock, and you don't have to run a play.
These Eagles came up here on a bus. They're liable to fly back, though.
They won't need a bus
Run back.
That's right. They're still alive in the playoff for the wild card spot.
You look down either way, the Giants people are stunned. Everybody in the stadium is stunned on that development. Fazarchik looks. Eagles giving them all day. They got 5 guys playing back. Yet it's broken up, and that is the final play of the game as John McVay, which has to be the most disappointing loss he's ever come up with as a football coach, sees his Giants lose on just a bizarre, unreal play. A fumble connection. Herman Edwards runs it in for a touchdown. The Eagles come back to win. Now for Sonny Jurgensen, this is Don Criqui, final score. Eagles 19, Giants 17. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word.